All right, now can you hear me?
Yes.
Hopefully you can hear me. Okay, cool.
Is it on your
I've
end?
been having weird computer. Yeah, it's totally me. Oh yeah,
Oh, okay.
totally me. I've been
That
having
changes
weird
everything.
computer. It seriously does. Yeah, now the world's right. um, Now been having weird computer problems lately, where like somehow my default settings get
Yeah.
changed if when I like restart my computer, or if I, you know, if I'm off of my computer for long enough, and I haven't done anything to cause that, so I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
This
that's
might
what
just be
usually.
one of those age things.
Yeah. That's what happens to me. That's why I went
That's what.
back out to come back in, and because the same
Uh,
thing happens.
got it. Yeah, totally,
Yeah,
totally get
we're
it.
slaves.
We are slaves to the digital environments that we're a part of.
Yes, yes.
Absolutely.
To the computer gods.
We really are. Margaret says, "Hey guys," and CJ says,
Hi,
"Good evening,
Margaret
Lisa and Ben." Hey,
and
hey
CJ.
Margaret. Hey CJ. Awesome to see you guys. I'm super excited. I love it when a plan comes together. We get some of our faves showing up. So, so what's new and exciting with you, Ben? How's your week
We
been?
nothing. I'm still behind.
Nothing.
Yeah,
Mm.
I'm still working on May.
That's okay, dude. It's all good.
Yeah, I'll catch up. May's coming back around, so I'll be right on time.
Well, I did tell you that's true. I did tell you we did assign the last piece that was part of those that we had. TJ says, "Hey, hippie dancer." Hey, TJ. He's referencing a video that someone found of me from my teenage years when I was on a TV show called Dance Party USA, and it's one of the few times you'll actually find a video of me in a bikini. But you'll be. It was just so funny, like it was just so random that I posted it like all over the place, and it seems like people got a good kick out of it. So anyway, um, and by the way, the person who found it is Heather Henderson, who I've known since I was like 2.5. So somehow it's always friends of mine who I've known for like 50 years who find stuff like that and are like, and post them out. TJ says, thankfully, there are even fewer images of me in a bikini. Now, honestly, I would love to see you in a bikini, TJ, because that would be freaking hilarious. That would like make my day. But now, so for anyone who doesn't know, TJ was actually a stuntman for a while, and he had done, like the festivals where you dress up in like, armor and all that kind of thing. Yeah, yeah. So TJ used to do all that, and so those blackmail photos, they exist. So you best look out, TJ. We may find those. Margaret says, I saw it. Lisa, you get moves, girl. Oh my lord. You know what? How it, so any show like that, what they used to do is they'd look for anyone who was like just moving a whole lot. And so they would literally just tell you that, just like you're to exaggerate your moves so that it came across better on screen. And so man, whew, first of all, you would never want to see us dance like that in person. And second of all, boy, were you freaking tired. I mean, you burned some calories getting those dance moves in. It was a lot. So anyway, TJ says, if I had shame, it was burned out long ago. I don't think anybody on this has any shame. I'm just kind of putting that out there because if we did, we wouldn't be here, right? I mean, I can't think of anybody. So, but what I was gonna say before was we finally assigned the last long piece to an editor that we had acquired like a year ago. So we are finally caught up from that capacity. And now it's more of just going in the backlog of pieces that were submitted to us that we haven't gone through. And we've got it on our calendars, guys. I think it's September 25th that the core acquisitions team is going to get together, and we'll go through all the long form pieces and pick which ones we're going to acquire. Now, so you know, we actually already acquired a lot. I mean, like, poo, we went kind of like ape shit and probably bought probably acquired far too many. And if you're with us, by the way, if you don't have a publication date yet for your work, but you're still working with an editor, just so you know, typically what happens is around mid-September, our distributor IPG, if we don't have the completed piece in with our distributor by like mid-September, then it's not going to make it into 2025. Um, that's just the deadlines that they've got. And, you know, we do our best to follow it because we want to give our authors every opportunity at success. And what that means is it ensures that the book it gets in front of their global sales team, because IPG has regional salespeople focused on like libraries, salespeople focused on schools, believe it or not, salespeople focused on overseas. So like, I believe one person's in charge of EMEA, someone else is in charge of Canada. So by getting it in by the deadlines that IPG um, provides, it ensures that you're going to get their attention. Now, I can't tell you how much attention you're going to get, but at least minimally, they'll acknowledge our existence. So that's really damn good. We like that. We like being acknowledged. Hence the "we have no shame" reference earlier. So anyway, but yeah, so if you are still working with an editor, it doesn't get in by mid-September, again, most likely it's going to go into our 2026 catalog. So when
That's into
with that
production.
said, yeah,
That,
exactly.
that's into production after the editor's done.
Exactly, that's into
Yeah.
production after the editor's done. Thank you. Yep, that's the perfect clarification. And so
Go on.
when that no, seriously, because you know, it's interesting to me. You know, I've been blessed to interact with a lot of small and mid-size presses, right, and independent presses, and sometimes we sit around and honestly we just talk about like, well, how do you get stuff done, right? And like, how much does it cost you to get this done, and who do you use, and you know, blah blah blah, right? Because you're always looking for something that is going to again benefit everybody, right? That it's really going to do well. And what that one thing I found out is our operational costs are super low, so we're killing it from that perspective. And I also know we've got incredible product in terms of our covers are amazing, and our interior formatters, and in my opinion, our product manager Evangeline is stellar. It doesn't mean that you don't have typos, and it doesn't mean you don't have things that you can fix. It just means that they're damn good at finding it. And they're typically pretty responsive, you know. But I also, you know, found out that like both our turnaround time from an editorial perspective is typically pretty decent, especially considering our approach is very collaborative, meaning like our editors really actively work with the author. It's not a dictate, right? We're always just trying to understand like what is it that was trying to be accomplished in this portion of the story, and how can we enable that, right? And if you're like, I don't know what I was trying to do, because hey, we all do that as well. then it's all good. Then we work together on figuring out like, okay, well, how can we make this something that it's a benefit to the reader, right? That they're going to get a lot out of it. So Caroline says, hey guys, great to see you. Chris says, bonjour. Lisa and Ben. Caroline says, I have a few more days working like a mad fool to get my novel to you, killing a lot of darlings to make the piece, but the piece a lot shorter. Um, and back to Ben's previous point, even if you get the book in to us, meaning in our submission, in for submission by the beginning of September, all that means is that that you've made it for us to consider it for 2026, 2027. It does not mean that it's going to make it into the 2025 catalog, because I'm pretty positive that if we don't get it, we'll change that. I know if we don't get the final product, meaning the cover is done, the formatting is done, all the metadata is in, a whole 9 yards, isn't if that's not in to our distributor by mid-September, then it's not going to make it into 2025. And I can tell you right now, there is like no fill in the expletive way that if you get us your draft in by September 1st, that everything I just described is going to get done by September 15th. In 2 weeks, cover design, fully formatted, everything is set up. You've got all the copy that you need for the cover, all the copy you need for your bio, all your everything is done. I've seen that rarely, and usually when I see it, it's because the author has already published quite a bit elsewhere, so they already know what's expected of them, and they're proactive in providing it. So, yeah. So just to be clear, Margaret says, I'm slated for fall of 2025, according to Evangeline. Woohoo! Yep, that sounds about right. Yep, fall 2025. That sounds about right. So,
Evangeline
yeah,
knows.
so guys,
Evangeline knows because
and
she's
Evangeline knows
in the production, and
exactly.
she's got those final touches. Even after, like I say, after the editing is done, it goes to Evangeline in production,
Yep.
and she does her magic.
And Evangeline actively works, like she works with IPG daily, like no joke, on everything from submissions to cleaning up copy to, and she is always actively working on things like finding out from IPG, hey, like we think this is going to be hot. Here's some copy that you may want to be aware of. She's the one who's sending out copy for titles that are coming out for reviews. And guys, if you saw, like, she copies me on all the submissions for books to be reviewed. Holy schmolians, guys. I want to say it's over 20 per book that we send out for potential review. So, I mean, she is on it. So if you want to know what's going on with your title and you're not sure, go to Evangeline. She is the one to know. Because if you go to me, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to Evangeline just to confirm that I'm not wrong. Because sometimes I am. Because I'm not breathing it, like I used to, like, 5 years ago or whatever, right? So just keep that in mind. Margaret says, Amir did a great cover too. Oh my God, guys. So we use Amir, Amir is the owner and operator of Pulp Art Studios, and he does fantastic work. We've been using him as our cover designer, been what, like 6 years or something like that? Something crazy like that. Oh, now I can't hear you. So hold on. Is this me? No, you're muted. I did not mute you. But anyway, yeah, we've been using.
Yeah, I was multitasking. Sorry.
There you. Oh no, it's all good. No worries. I was just saying we've been using Amir for what, like 6 years or something like that. We
Yeah.
Pulp Art Studios. Yeah. And he's not so we're not his sole client. So if you have something that you want worked on, like a cover or uh it could be a poster or whatever, I definitely recommend going to Amir. I mean, he is amazing at design. And I know that right now there's a lot of concern around usage of AI for things like this. He does not use AI. I've double checked. Honestly, I don't think any of his artwork looks like it's AI. What he does is he does it the old school way, at least old school from when I was in a similar role as Amir's. You go and you buy a uh, a library of images, and then because those images aren't copywritten, you can then adjust them using like Adobe or some other kind of art design program. That's what he does, and he's been doing it for so long. He's just brilliant at it. So
You take the author's
Caroline says,
ideas
"Wow,
and work with the author's ideas and turns them into covers. And usually gives the authors a couple of choices, and I haven't seen an author yet not take one of the choices and kind of be torn between the choices he's given. I said, well, that's good, but okay, let's go
oh
this way. Can we merge them somehow, merge the colors? And, and authors
yep,
are pleased.
100%." Yeah, we typically, because we believe that, I mean, authors, you know, you've lived this story, right? And because you've lived this story, most authors have an idea of what they would like to see on the cover. The only time that it gets shut down is if you're like, I would like to have a personal image of myself or my family or my whatever on the cover, and it's clearly like a Polaroid. Like it's not the quality of it isn't such that it would constitute a professional cover, right? So typically what we'll do is say, okay, do me a favor, whatever that image is, share that along with what's spurring you to say that that's what you want for the cover, right? Like what within the story is really inspiring you for that. Let's give that to Amir, and then that way he can take it and he can run with it. And to Ben's point, he's never, you may have a couple of iterations back and forth, right? But that's normal. And honestly, we have not had an author yet who wasn't just like, you know, this is rocking. So, um, Caroline says, "Wow, he does indeed. Everyone who has seen the cover of my book says they love it." Oh, I'm so happy. Seriously. Like we both said, we really haven't. I honestly think that is hilarious that he does. I want to say all of our, at least the novella anthologies for Running Wild, and for a little while the short story anthologies, he would always have some chick on it with long red hair, which I damn well know what he's doing. And I think at one point I was like, okay, you can stop doing that now. Like, it's not, I think anyone who's familiar with this knows you're like doing a nod. It's like, you don't have to do that. So, Ben, don't be surprised if at some point he starts showing up on the short story anthologies with like bald guys.
I won't stop
bald
him.
bald guys.
I won't stop him.
That's it. You're like, I'll give him a photo.
Yeah. I'll dig out my
Although that
bikini.
would be, well, you do still swim, so
Uh,
hey, if it floats your boat, man, it's all good.
no shame.
No shame, no shame. Mm-mm. I still have bikinis. I just don't wear them. So, oh well. Anyway, so yeah. Guys, if you've got any questions, I have no idea why I can't see the time. Oh, there we go. 5:20. All right, cool. And now we have Peter. Woo woo! Hey man,
Hey, how
how's
you
it
doing?
going?
I heard
We're just creating
bikini and
havoc.
bald guy, and I just had to jump on the call to see what was happening.
Yeah, that was the time to come in.
How did you end
That was
up
like
there? That's what I
exactly.
want to know.
Do you really want to know? I don't think
No,
so.
no.
No.
Oh, so we're getting asked for updates on our week. I don't know, Peter, since you just joined, I'm gonna put you on the spot. So how was your week? What's been going on, young man?
My internet is acting weird again.
Mm-mm.
Oh, a whole lot of not much. So just working. We were talking about the hotel that's going up in town. So small town stuff is very interesting. Why is that
That's cool.
happening? Why am I echoing? That's
Oh,
weird.
wow. I don't know. That is weird. Not
Lisa's
me this
messing with
time.
you.
I
She was telling me I couldn't hear her.
well, I don't know, because you put yourself on mute.
Yeah, I showed you.
You showed me. Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Man, I'm gonna
Oh,
jump off for a second. I'll be
so
right back.
oh, okay.
Be right back.
Well, similar to Ben, I'm still catching up, right? I've got a couple of full lengths that I'm editing that are with the authors, right? So they're making their changes. I'm going through all of the novellas, and I think I got through all the full lengths. I'm going through all the novellas, all the submissions to the that we've gotten so far for the Drexel University award, and I think from a submissions perspective, TJ's like Zoom truly is the modern iteration of a séance. Well, we all have to have we all have to have some kind of iteration of séance. So why not?
Are you with us?
Ooh. But we do actually. We've got some big news in one front. So one of our authors, Scott Leva, is going to be one of the special guests at the Carlisle Comic Con in October of this year. And so we are actually going to offer in partnership with. Hold on, Peter, can you hear us? Do you still have an echo?
I hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay,
Fixed.
I can hear
Okay,
you.
good.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, her big announcement.
I was just telling folks. I was just telling folks about Scott's book. I Was M Spider-Man. His memoir is going to be a limited edition that has special content. Will be available as a part of a VIP ticket for the Carlisle Comic Con in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, and that's this October. Look for it. I'm just now going through and integrating all the special content for it, and you should see it show up on the Carlisle Comic Con site. I want to say in the next week or so. And I mean, it's honestly, it's really, really cool. And the folks from Carlisle Comic Con have been absolutely fabulous to work with. Really, really good people. Really great guests that they're going to be having. So if you grew up in the 80s and 90s, you will completely geek out. Like they've got, I mean, other than Scott, who I mean, he alone would make you geek out, right? But like they've got people who were on the Dukes of Hazzard. Um, I know, right? See? I mean, all these shows that, again, if you grew up in like the 80s and 90s, are like, holy shit! Like I remember him. This is amazing, you know. And they're going to be there to talk and sign stuff and hang out. I mean, definitely worth your time. And from what I understand, I believe this is the 50th anniversary of the Carlisle Comic Con. So it's a big deal. Like they've been able to get some really cool folks. Um, so that yeah, guys, check it out. You know what? Let me it doesn't have the announcement on the site yet about the VIP ticket to get the special edition copy of I Was M Spider-Man, but I'm including in the chat for you guys so you can go and check out the conference. Again, it is really cool. Really good people. And by the way, when you attend, you actually get like special edition like trading cards of the guests. And you can see samples of the trading cards on the site. I mean, and they're really nice trading cards. So I again, definitely check it out. Very cool. And we're also in talks right now with several other places about potentially either having authors speak or one of us dorky people going and chatting and we're working through a whole bunch of stuff. So, you know, again, definitely check it out. Oh, Evangeline's with us. Hey, Lisa, Ben, and Peter. Hey, everyone. Hey, Evangeline. So awesome to see you. So glad you're here. Oh my gosh, it's always so much fun when you get to join us. So, but anyway, so with all that, so Peter, you're just basically like knocking stuff out. Is your weekly update? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, editing as fast as I can, and putting chapter after chapter into the novel. So things are moving along. So I'm happy with the progress. I know my deadlines. I promise you. I promise Kathy.
Excellent.
So I have deadlines. I will make those deadlines.
And you better listen to Kathy. I'm just saying, because she will come after you. Kathy's his wife, guys, who is an absolute brilliant marketer and a fabulous human being. So, you know, he knows his place when he's saying this. Evangeline says, "Love you guys. Still grinding here. Morning time in Philippines. Oh, it's again, love you too. We always just glow about you because you are just phenomenal. So, duh." But yeah, I'm same boat. I'm just grinding through stuff. I'm behind on a couple of fronts. I didn't realize the volume of submissions we had for novellas and for the book awards and stuff. So by now I thought I would have started working on the third book in the Cure world, but I need to knock out um, all these submissions first. And I also need to work on we're going to have another big announcement, but I'm still trying to figure out when we're going to do that in the coming weeks or months, based on this is going to be called too much information, but if you're into the business side of this stuff, it'll make sense to you. um, One big feedback I've gotten from various marketing and salespeople who represent us, as well as actually some pretty big distributors that I've talked to in the past about potentially us moving to work with them, was that our catalogs are amazing. We've got incredible titles. Our covers are great. Our stories are great. Everything's fantastic, but we kind of do everything. So when they're going to, which is kind of true and it's kind of not true, because we do cross genre. So oftentimes a story will be, and this is just an example, you know, it might be a romance, but it has like magical realism elements to it, and it's a literary writing style, right? So when they're going to retailers and like libraries and such, and to sell it, they're trying to figure out how to position it, right? So we've been brainstorming. There's one area that we've seen in the last several months thematically that we've been getting a lot of submissions that are actually pretty solid within this space. And so we are looking at starting an imprint focused on that space, if that makes sense. And I just want to kind of leave it there, right? Because we only just really started hardcore talking about it, because we sort of tossed it out there here and there, but in the past, but it was like a meh, I don't know, and now it actually kind of feels more like it makes sense to do it. I don't know, Ben, Peter, am I representing this well, or am I just sort of babbling?
That's a good tease.
Yeah, I think you're giving just enough information to be
right now, before we roll it out. So that's good.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Don't give away too much.
Cool. All right. Well, then I'll shut up there. And for anybody who's joining us just now, just so you know, we're here typically Thursdays between 5 and 6 p.m. Pacific time, 8 and 9 p.m. Eastern time. And this is, again, Run Wild with us, Ask Us Anything. And this is your opportunity to ask the acquisition editors and sometimes some of our guest editors whatever the heck you want. And it can be about the business. It can be about writing itself. It could be about editing. Oh, and by the way, if you are a writer and you're struggling with the editing process, a dear friend, Jonathan Mayberry, is actually going to have a class tomorrow. I'm sorry, not tomorrow, Saturday, on different editing techniques. I'm looking for a link to that now. And this man knocks out, like several full length pieces each year. And with that in mind, know that he's got some really, really solid editing techniques. So again, if this is something that you have been struggling with, I really recommend to attend his editing class. Here, I'm just looking up the
Is it free and open to the public?
There's a cost to it, but what he does is he donates it to animal shelters. So, but yeah, anytime he has a class like that, he typically does maybe one class. Here we go. Revision strategies for writers. Let me get a link to this for you guys. Copy. All right, and I'll put it here. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, that's right, TJ. It's his class on revisions. I just posted a link to it. If honestly, if you can't get access to it, just go ahead and ping me in whatever venue that you're watching this, and I'll send you a link to it. He actually, it's not just an in-person class. He actually also gives you a lot of like actual like a booklet of various editing techniques and recommendations. But yeah, he I think he knocks out at least 4 full-length books a year, and on top of that, short stories, and on top of that, he edits a bunch of collections. And that's just because he's just really nailed, what that process is for him, and like, how to knock it out. So I'd say, yeah, definitely check it out. Now that said, and he self-acknowledges this, so I'm not being a bitch by saying this. He this is not detailed line editing, right? This is how are you coming up with your concept for your novel or whatever the piece is? How do you map it out, right? How do you write it? How do you then go over it and do those? What do those revisions look like? because as he likes to say, he grew up in, I think it was Kensington, Pennsylvania, which is not a very good area for those of you who are not familiar. And therefore, his education in terms of the English language isn't necessarily the most stellar. So, so he actually does have someone who goes over all of his copy to clean up to clean it up. But anyway, I know a lot of authors, typically those who are starting out, this is actually the space that they have the greatest challenge, right? And actually, there are quite a few authors who they can't. They're lucky if they are able to knock out a book every 5 years, and it's because they really struggle with what that revision process is. So, I would say it is definitely worth your time to check that out. Cool. I'm just trying to see if I missed anything. I don't think so.
I think self-editing is a very tough thing to do, because you're self-editing your own work, obviously, because you're already in the story. You know what you know what you see. You know what the characters are going to do now and what they're going to do next. So you tend to gloss over certain things that an outside editor might catch. Now, the other edge of that sword is that when you're editing while you're writing, it slows you down to a crawl, because you're thinking about, well, did I foreshadow this back then? Did this make sense in terms of the arc of the story? So you're throwing all this stuff in front of you that just roadblocks you. So, I mean, you really got to stay true to yourself when you got to bulldog all the way to the end of the novel, and then go back and go through it very slowly so that you see what other people might see, or the stuff that other people will see, as it were.
Oh, yeah. I completely, I mean, because what's interesting is a lot of times when you self-doubt, right? And you're like, "Oh, I didn't foreshadow this, or I didn't include this key information or whatever." When you go over it a second time, you realize, "Oh shit, I did it like 4 times." Right? Like but it's just because you just keep, self-questioning. And so, to Peter's point, just plowing through it, right? You know, that's typically the most effective way to you've got to get through that first draft, and then okay, screw yourself up by self-doubt. That's fine. I'm just kidding.
And the editor gives you that feasibility check. That didn't happen. It sure did. It makes all the logic and the logical sense there is. No, it didn't happen. You have to, and usually it's that foreshadowing tweak, or just the, how many things can one person carry while they're standing on a lamppost.
While they're standing on a lamppost. That is awesome.
That's a great image.
So it's just that feasibility edits that give you that outside perspective.
I mean, and that's why, honestly, it's so necessary just to have whoever. It's great to have an editor that you've worked with before, but no, it's someone who hasn't had visibility to the story that you're writing, and it's also someone that you can trust, and they'll tell you like, yeah, no, this sucked, right? Or I know you think you did this, but right? So you can kind of like really like bring it together. But yeah, anyway, and there are techniques though for an author, like if you've been way too engaged in a work and you're done that draft and you need to have that emotional separation, there are techniques to provide that emotional separation. I don't know if Jonathan goes through those. I used to actually teach a course on how to be your own best editor, and a lot of it really that I was teaching was that it was more of the how to force that emotional separation so that you can look at it as with a third eye, and then like what things to focus on when you're going through it. So the way I was teaching it, though, I mean, you end up doing like 6 or 7 drafts because each draft is focused on a different key element, if that makes sense, right? So, but anyway, but his is so more than worth it. Definitely check it out. And again, proceeds go to I believe it's animal shelters. So and it's all on Zoom, by the way. It's not in person, so you could just hang out in your house and chill out. And I think he records it. I'm not sure. Actually, change that. I don't think he records it. Um, just so that it can't get posted somewhere. And then obviously the shelters don't get benefit from it if someone does that. So, any hoodle. Um, oh wow, we're already almost at quarter to the end of the hour. My goodness. Well, guys, definitely come on, give us more, ask us more questions. That is why we're here. You've got us for another 18 minutes. Oh, TJ just confirmed, no, he does not record it except in special cases. Yes, thank you, TJ. Greatly appreciate the confirmation. And now, the opposite of that, we do record this, and you'll find those recordings on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And what's great about it is not only do you get to hear us blather, or at least you get to hear me blather, then what you get to do as well is if you have a question that comes to mind while you're watching it, you can go ahead and post it within that posting. And we always check during the course of during the week to see if there have been additional questions that have been asked, so that we can address them in the subsequent Run Wild with Us Ask Us Anything. So definitely it's worth it, right? It's definitely worth watching our recordings. And then again, you can either join us the subsequent week, or you can just simply go back and post your comment, and then you can go back and check the next recording for our response to whatever your question was. So it is all good, not a problem. Awesome. Oh, another big announcement. So our writers workshop with Tihi Hazlett and Cody Cisco in Mexico, in Puerto Vallarta. We got a lot of feedback that we just simply weren't giving people enough time to submit their work, and then like if they got accepted to uh, set up like vacation time and stuff to attend. So what we've done is it's now going to be in June of 2025. And then we'll obviously reset the deadline for submitting your sample work for to get into the actual writers workshop. So we will be posting an announcement around that soon. I think Tihi right now is just finalizing some of the more tactical details, like what the deadline will be for you to send in your copy to, and then like when we'll actually respond and let you know like if you got in and like all that kind of stuff. So look for that. Actually, I'm super excited because we've got so much going on in general at Running Wild Rise and the soon to be named and announced tertiary imprint that I could really use the time. So, Caroline says, what does the Labor Day weekend coming up hold for you, Lisa, Ben, and Peter? All right, this time, not Peter. This time, Ben, you're on. You're the first one to go. So what do you have planned for this Labor Day?
Is that this weekend?
Yep.
Almost missed it. Thanks, Caroline. It'll be full of grading and editing and writing and sitting outside. I know.
And sitting. It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Who knew?
Yeah.
How about you, Peter? Oh, sorry.
Mine's very similar. It's editing and writing. I really want to power through this book that I'm working on. Probably do some floating in the pool with a cocktail or two while the weather's still warm. Some barbecuing, of course. So looking forward to it big
Nice.
time.
Nice. Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's nice.
Man, you guys are both far more sexy than I am. I'm gonna be working and working, and then I'm gonna be working. I just need to plow through these submissions. Like I just need to knock this out. I need to knock out the details of our new upcoming imprint. I need to knock out details of a couple of other things. Oh, we got an offer to submit classes for the next ALA conference. So think about guys, think about that, and folks watching, if you are a librarian or you're someone who frequents your local library, let us know. Like, what kind of stuff would you find value in a publisher presenting about at the American Library Association's annual conference? Because we'd love to help you out. We'd love to do it. So
I still owe you stuff on that, so I'm working on it.
Okay, all right.
You don't remember,
I don't remember what I
You got
forwarded
1,000
and what
things
I didn't
going on at
anymore.
once. I don't blame you.
I'm like, huh? And then, I am going to, for those of you in the San Diego area, I will be at the next Writers Coffee House at Mysterious Galaxy Bookstore on Sunday from 12 to 3. If you, I honestly, this is a TMI moment. I take the train in. And then what I do is I basically hang out and I go to like a local eatery and grab like an early dinner. And then I take the train back. So, if you want to like hang out or you want to pick my brain about something or whatever, afterwards, you're welcome to join me. Cause I literally just walk like to a neighboring restaurant, and grab a bite before I hit the train. So again, more than welcome. And then Monday is just going to be called me working a lot again. I just want to knock the stuff out while I have time, So, and then on the subsequent Sunday, so September 8th, we're going to start a new Writers Coffee House at Tajitos Cafe. Now I have to try and find that. And that one's pretty cool because so that one's out of Pasadena. And both Ray Porter, who is both an artist, meaning a voiceover artist, as well as a writer and an actor. He and Jonathan Mayberry will be joining us for it as to start for the launch of it. So it should be a lot of fun. Definitely check it out and definitely join us. Sorry, I'm just looking up the announcement regarding it. So let's see. But yeah, so in the next couple weeks, that's pretty much what I will be focused on. And then when I finally knock out going over all those submissions and I finally knock out some of the secret stuff that I've hinted at, then I can focus on my own writing, which would be nice. Because I honestly I don't remember half of what I've published. So I'm actually listening to the audiobooks now to remind myself of what I've already published. So I don't know any author that admits to that. So that always makes me think I'm the only person that does that. But oh well. Anyway. Actually, Ben and Peter, do you guys remember everything that you've ever written?
Everything?
Oh, all right. How about like in the last like 5 years? No.
No. I've got a list of post-it notes of all the scenes of the novel that I'm working on right here. It's about yay thick. I'm going
Nice.
through that to see what's going on with what happens next in the last draft of the novel that I had. Okay, what happens next in the last draft? So I'm piecing it together like that, and then going back to the former draft and putting what I want in the current draft. So there's no way. I'm like, holy cow, I wrote that. Okay, sure, made sense at the time.
How about you, Peter? I mean, why do I keep doing that? Ugh.
Don't know.
How about I'm like looking at Ben and I say Peter and I don't know, whatever. Anyway,
I'm not
how
going
about
into that.
I don't know.
Actually, I've been typing up a lot of collections and going through journals. And I think, well, I remember writing this collection. That's what I want to type up. And then I see this other series of poems under the same heading. I say, I don't remember writing those. So I just skip them. But there's a story about Joan Baez singing "Love is a 4-letter word,"
Mhm.
and Bob Dylan said, "Hey, that's a pretty good song. Who wrote that?" And Joan Baez said, "You did, you dope."
Now that's awesome.
Yeah, so it happens to the best.
That is awesome. TJ says Jonathan literally just said he listens to his older books in a series before he moves forward. So it's not the lead in your water. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, with Steven to both what Peter and Ben just said, I literally like when I'm listening to the audiobook, I'm like, wow, that's a great I love that thread, or damn, that was hilarious. But then I also you can hear the typos, and it's like, ah, damn it. But oh well, I'll work it later. But yeah, because it's not like a half dozen people didn't see it. You know what I mean? And by the way, this happens to all of us. Like I've had some authors we published, they're like, "Oh my god, I gave this to my whoever, and they caught all these typos. Can we fix them?" Yeah, sure. But understand, guys, this like I don't know of a single book that's ever gone out that didn't have typos, right? Like I'm not. We all it's Caroline's. Yep, exactly. We all do it. And it can be anything from like there's one too many spaces to, you know, the misspelling to, maybe the shift between paragraphs wasn't quite there to whatever, right? We all do it. And at least if you're with us, yeah, of course we'll look at it. Now, my ask though is don't do these one-off things where, oh my God, look what I found. Oh my God, look what I found. No, 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 no. Go through the whole damn thing. Please. Like, we don't have time to go like get 20 or 30 or 40 emails saying, oh my God, look at that. And don't keep changing your mind in terms of like what the tense shift should be and stuff like that. No, 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 no. That is not a typo. That's you being kludgy. I got nothing to do with that. We've got nothing to do with that. So just do it. Send us the whatever corrections you want done when you're positive this is what you want done, right? So and no, you can't rewrite the whole damn thing. That's a whole nother one that I've been seeing lately. Oh yeah, seriously, Peter, we had this one guy finished it, signed off on it, whole thing. About a week later, after it got passed on to Evangeline, he's like, "Oh wait, no, I don't like this part. I just realized this doesn't work." And yeah, Evangeline's like, "Yes, please do it all in one time, and then I'll work on it." See, it's not just me; it is the woman herself stating it. Please, just all at once. And if you are in the like you decide you're going to do another once through, then please let Evangeline know that you're doing that, so she doesn't like actually working on it, and you're like stepping on each other's toes, right? So in other words, don't be a jerk.
It's already tomorrow there, so she's speaking from the future.
She is. She is absolutely speaking from the
It's
future.
a voice
So
from beyond. It's a seance. It is a seance.
it is a seance, or it's the voice. It's the voice of I was going to say the voice of reality, but yeah. So she's the future, the voice of from beyond,
Yes.
as one might say.
Of editing future.
The editing
Ghost of
future.
editing
Yep.
future.
I had one author
Okay, guys,
for
we found.
novella. What's that? Go ahead.
Do it. No, go.
No, I had one
You had an
author,
author
for
for a
a novella
novella?
anthology that we did the first round. He's like, okay, well, I rewrote this and rewrote this. Okay, fine. We did the second round. Okay, I rewrote this, wrote this. Gave it to him for one final approval. He's like, oh no, I rewrote the entire thing. And I'm like, you did what? We were
What?
done before when I sent it to you. We were done. All I wanted was your approval and a thumbs up. What do you mean you rewrote the whole thing? I rewrote the whole thing. Can you go over it? No. I went over it 3
Oh
times
my
already.
God.
Just like that's not cool. I mean, when you say you're done, be done. Keep your editor in the loop. That was crazy.
Yeah, no, that's not cool.
Once. Yeah.
Well, and Evangeline says, we have a lot of stories. Please think of others too.
Exactly.
100%. Like, and when we say others, we don't just mean we mean the editors, we mean the authors, we mean Evangeline, we mean our formatters, we mean everybody involved in the process. Like it does literally take a village in order to get a book to market, right? And it literally takes a village to promote it. And I mean, everything. It's not just one person. So please, 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 please be respectful of the others that you're working with to get your fantastic story to market, right? So, yeah, because I actually either I'm the one who gets the emails or I'm the one who's copied on it. When someone's like, oh, no, wait, I decided the whole thing now is completely changed. It's like, don't do that. Don't do that.
At the beginning of the editing process, make sure you're both working on the latest version. Because that's a lot of extra work.
Yeah.
And
Although
we have
you didn't
seen
get the
that
version I meant
times.
to make you work on. Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. Or we'll get I completely to both the guys' points. I completely rewrote it in the meantime. Hope you don't mind. And it's like, what? Okay, sure. Hopefully it doesn't suck.
Wasn't that good to begin with, but okay.
Ooh, I don't say that. No. Never. No.
Just this once.
Only send us a complete rewrite. If you're going to do it once and do it in the beginning before your editor starts working on it. Just saying.
Before your editor ghost writes it for you.
Right? Wow. Well, with that, we are at time. You guys, as always, are phenomenal. Evangeline, Caroline, TJ, Margaret, everyone, CJ, so amazing to see everybody. As always, Ben and Peter, you guys are freaking rock stars. And guys, we will see you same time next week. So until then, ciao.
Bye-bye.
Ooh.
I guess she left.
Bye-bye. Oh, we're still being recorded.
Yep. Okay.
That's what
How do I stop it?